Welcome to All Things Retreat podcast. I'm Holly Porter, your host and CEO of Retreat R&R. With over 25 years of experience in designing transformative retreats, I'm here to share insights and inspiration to help you create extraordinary experiences. Whether you're a pro or just starting out, you'll find valuable ideas here. Enjoy the ride. Let's dive in. Hey everyone, welcome to the show today, or welcome back to the show. We're happy that you're tuning in and listening to us talk about all things retreat. My guest today is Lainey Cavazos. She is a retreat business strategist and the founder of the Retreat Planner. With 20 plus years experience in hospitality, including 6 years at the Marriott International, where she led loyalty marketing across the Middle East and Africa and drove 36% revenue increase at the Ritz-Carlton. She now helps retreat leaders build profitable, sustainable businesses using the same methodology trusted by world top hospitality brands. Her work has been tested across 100 plus retreats. She hosts How to Run Profitable Retreats, the #1 podcast for retreats on Apple Podcast and Spotify. Welcome to the show.
I'm so glad to be here, Holly. Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, happy to have you. We're going to have a great discussion today. You've got lots of retreat experience, which I love. And that's super helpful for our listeners so that they can learn how they can also be successful in the retreat industry. So let's get into it. We've got a few questions here. Are you ready?
Yes, I am.
Okay. Many retreat leaders focus on creating transformational experiences, but you talk a lot about building a profitable retreat business. What's the biggest mistake you see people make when trying to turn retreats into a real revenue stream?
Well, this is one of my favorite questions. It's because so many times we feel or we believe that our passion and profit are not working together. Like if we're passionate about something, we want to help people transform their lives, then it's at war, right? With profit and having revenue, when it's completely the opposite way. Especially it happens with all these people who want to change the world. They want to create transformation. They want to find new ways on how to help the world become better in different layers and shapes and forms. And because of that, they feel that they should not be making any money, that they should be doing it just from the goodness of their hearts. But
Right.
the reality behind the scenes is that people, when they do that, they cannot sustain it. So they're taking away their gifts and what they're supposed to do for the world just because they're running on passion alone. When passion and profit, they work together.
I agree. And, I think in the industry, because so many people are heart-centered that do transformational or retreats, especially, it's like they've got to work together, because if you're not profitable, eventually you're going to have to stop because you can't keep bleeding the line, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, I tell a lot of people, I think like retreats are not for the faint of heart, right? Like it does require an additional financial investment that if you were just running online courses or doing one-on-one coaching, because their expenses are higher, the filters for people saying yes are higher. Yeah. So you need to have grit.
Yes.
You need to have grit to be running retreats. Like there is no way around it. And if you do not believe you should make money and you should have a business that pays you, you're probably better off not doing retreats.
Yeah, I know. Because if you're just doing them for fun, you're kind of sucking the fun out of it.
Right. I mean, I'll just tell this story very quickly. I had this person once, like she came and she was hosting a retreat, and I just gave her like a single consultation so she could sell her spots. Mm-hmm. And she did, right? She started selling spots. So she had like 16 women to come all the way from Australia to Mexico for a retreat.
Wow.
But we didn't do anything of her pricing, her numbers, nothing. And it turns out she miscalculated her costs very bad, to the point that she didn't know how she was gonna keep running her travel, because she was coming from Australia. So she had plans to stay longer. Sure. And then she had no money. Oh. So she checked out from the retreat. I was there, I was present, I saw it happen. And she just checked out because her mind could not be present because she was so worried and concerned.
Yeah. Oh gosh,
about
that's awful.
paying her bills, about being able to survive.
Yeah, especially when people go international. I always suggest when you're just starting out, don't be doing things international because it is a whole new game and a strategy behind it and preparation is different. So you need to have a few retreats under your belt. I feel before you just like say, oh, we're gonna go to Bali now. It just a lot of people just don't realize how much strategy is behind it. So listening to the podcast, yours and mine, they can come and get a lot more educated by that because I feel like we have great guests that give us these tips like you are. So thanks for that. You worked in luxury hospitality and helped launch the Marriott Bonvoy loyalty program in the Middle East and Africa before moving into the retreat industry. How did that background influence the way that you teach retreat leaders to design and sell their retreats now?
Oh my gosh, this is also one of my favorite questions because it takes me back into memory lane about all the crazy events that I ran. So I did like dinners in front of the Giza pyramids and private concerts for Craig David, and it was wonderful. And it gave me the foundations of how we should be running retreats like a hospitality business,
Mm.
like a tour agency that actually creates transformation. That is, it goes deeper, it goes beyond wellness tourism.
Yeah.
And the way you need to do it is through having structure. And the best way to know it is to know how to do customer service, right? And that's one of the biggest pieces that I've learned at Ritz Carlton: customer service, how you take care of people, and how you create luxury experience, because those are the ones that people remember and
Yeah.
they want to come back to. And then loyalty marketing, right? It was one of the biggest like wins of my career in the corporate space to be part of the team that launched Marriott Bonvoy, because loyal customers spend 67% more than non-loyal customers.
Mm.
So how could we incorporate loyalty marketing inside of our retreats? So then more people come back and then they spend more. So then we're working less and getting higher results.
Absolutely. Well, I want to call you a retreat junkie, so to speak, because you have attended so many retreats yourself, which I think is a great way to see what you like, what you don't like, what you want to do in yours and what you don't want to do in yours. What do you feel like, how many, first of all, have you attended approximately? And what would you say has moved the needle the most in what you've learned about that?
I would say in the past 5 years, I've attended probably around 40 retreats, give or take. I remember at the beginning of my like the path, I actually went to a retreat every week for 6 months.
Oh,
So that's like 24 just on that. And then now I go at least quarterly to a retreat every single year. So I do at least 4 retreats per year.
okay.
And the reason I do it, first of all, it's for me, right? Because I truly
Mhm.
believe that we need to keep our transformational journey. We need to become better as humans. And I go to all different types of retreats. I don't just go, oh, I go to this one because it's a yoga retreat, or to this one because it's a business retreat. I find different retreats that fulfill and give additional like support
Mhm.
to who I am and my business and and my person, right? Like I
Right.
just told you, I just came back from a retreat and there's no Wi-Fi, and I go there like this is now, right now my favorite retreat. I go there because I love the people that attend, and there's no Wi-Fi, so I get to really unplug, and that's something that's very detrimental for my mental health when I'm running my business. So I would say that it's first is from this personal place of like what I need, and like how can I can become better, because if I can become better, I can serve my clients better. And the second one is of course always market research. What are people doing? What is working? What is not? How do I want to experience a retreat? And how other people sometimes tend to go and just be like, oh, this is the way it should supposed to be because I am feeling this is the way that I would like it to be. And they don't take the time to really see the other side of the scope,
Mhm.
to see what the person sitting in front of you really needs, how it is required. And to be honest, I get so many stories out of going to retreats just from experiences, seeing retreat leaders, how they deal with like drama or a good situation, or how they leverage opportunities, or how they lose sales opportunities inside of the retreat because they're hiding.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's just, I enjoy it so much.
Yeah. Well, and you want them to be educated too and experienced. It's a talent and a skill to have the tools to be able to handle things when when things do fall apart at events. I think that's why I'm a component of the concierge services. If you've got a tribe of people and you don't have a team that's doing the logistics and the back end thing for you, that's a well earned thing to pay for, I think, is to just like let that be off your plate and come in and just shine in your zone of genius and teach what you know, but let somebody else handle all the logistics, because those are the stressful things. I think that definitely leaders end up falling apart, trying to handle it all, doing it all themselves, right?
Yeah, and usually this comes from a place of scarcity where they be like because they don't do their pricing right, so they don't have a budget to have someone
Right.
help them through the process.
Yeah.
And the truth is, you should be focusing on your magic, what you're great at,
Mhm.
not on things that you're not great at. So if you're not great at planning or following up or doing emails, you should not be doing that. You should be
Yeah.
focused on the things that really make you shine, and then hire out everything else that you don't need, because it will make a huge difference on your business. At the beginning, you might feel like it's taking out of your profit, but if you're running your business really on a profitable way, it's not, because it's
Yeah.
accounted for and it's
In the
giving you
beginning.
time.
Yeah. Yeah. It just, you got to start from the top and budget it in. I know. What do you think the difference is between hosting a retreat that simply breaks even and creating a retreat that becomes a six-figure business?
Oh, great question. So, first of all, I do believe that most people, when they say I broke even, they're lying and they did not break even. They
Okay.
lost money.
Oh dear. Oh
Think
wow.
about it. Most people wonder if you're breaking even, that means you probably did not quote the time that it took you to promote, to market, and to sell your
Yeah.
retreat. The hours of sales calls, those are part of your cost and they should be accounted for. So if you're breaking even just on the cost of running
Mm,
the retreat, like the operational cost, that means you're actually losing money. Right. So
yes.
most people say, oh, I no, but I broke even. It's okay. And I always question it, because if you broke even, that usually tells me that you did not run your numbers properly.
Right. Yeah. Or
So
I didn't lose money, and it's like, didn't. But if you didn't pay yourself, you lost money because there's value to your time.
exactly. And I actually tell people, I said, like, if you didn't budget to pay yourself, and then let's say you break a toe and you cannot come, how are you going to pay someone to come and fulfill your role if there's no
Yeah.
budget for that?
Yeah, I think so. What do you think has surprised you the most working with retreat leaders?
Oh, well, I have to say is like what has surprised me the most is when I work with my clients, and when they go, usually they go to this breaking point where they have to consider if they're really doing this or not, right? Like it's this like yes or no, like this end of the line, right? Feels like the chasm, right? Like a
Yeah.
chasm, like they have to go through. And the people who go through it, oh my gosh, the things that happen afterwards for them are just wonderful. Like their business start growing so much faster than that they ever thought, and they start fulfilling those dreams that they've always looked for, out for, by hosting retreats, by adding other programs into their business, by feeling very excited. But then suddenly, right, is this compounding effect by
Hmm.
suddenly seeing now people being like, oh, yes, I wanted to come to your last retreat, but I couldn't. But I saw you have a new date. Can I sign up? That is my favorite part, because I know as a business owner, right, as an entrepreneur, it's one of the biggest like self-healing pro- processes that you can ever go through, right? I read a
Yeah.
post the other day saying, someone said, do you think ayahuasca is the thing that really puts you to test? No, it's being an entrepreneur. So many things will come out.
Yeah.
And it is my honor to witness people go through that process and have that grit, have that commitment, because they know what they're doing. It goes beyond them.
Yeah. Yeah. So true. If you could give one piece of advice to a retreat leader listening right now that might help them become more profitable, what would it be?
Well, the first one I would say is come take my free masterclass that I run once a month, because it will give you the structure for you to have a business that works for you. Now, that's the first thing that I would suggest. And it's because really I have this method that helps people get and achieve great results, regardless of if they choose to continue working with me or not.
Right.
And
Okay.
the last thing that, it is, and we do learn that inside of the master class, is how you get to have your own business model. So don't try to copy anyone else out there when they're
Yeah.
doing retreats. I see it so often, and guess what? Usually they fail
Yeah.
because they're like, "Oh, that person is doing that. They're selling on Facebook. They're selling here. They're doing live in person events. They're doing this." And for that person, that might be the perfect way for them to sell their retreats.
Sure.
That does not mean it's for you.
Yeah. It's not a one size fits all.
No, no cookie
Yeah.
cutter. No cookie cutter in my world, at least, right? I believe that everyone deserves to have a business model that works for them
Mm.
based on their lifestyle and what they want to achieve. I have people who sell all their retreats through ads. I have people who sell it through master classes. I have people who sell it through in-person events. There's so many different ways and
Right.
opportunities on how that can happen. And so many times we just do not pay attention to it because we see someone and we're like, oh, if it's working for that, it must work for me. And that's not true.
Right. Yeah, I agree. So if someone's listening right now that wants to host a retreat, but they're not sure if their idea could actually become profitable, what's a few things that they should evaluate before they even like start in the planning process, looking for the venue, all the
Oh, yeah.
logistics?
I mean, I always say that the venue is almost the last thing you should be
Yeah.
looking at into, but I mean, a lot of people would be against that point,
Yeah.
that way of doing things. But I like reverse engineering. I'm like,
Hmm.
let's look at your business in 5 years.
Yeah.
Where do you want to go? Okay.
Right.
And then what are the steps you need to do in order to get there? So the first thing I would say is I would go out there and do actual market research.
Mhm.
I would find out if there is people who are willing to pay the price that I want to charge for
Yeah.
the retreat that I'm offering.
Yes.
I mean, there's 8 billion people or 9 billion people in the world. We probably will reach like so many more soon.
Yeah.
And so there's clients for everything.
Yep.
But the
Yeah.
way we phrase it, the way we put our messaging together
Yeah.
makes a huge difference in that
I agree.
space.
Yeah, I agree.
It makes a
And
huge
just
difference. So
asking
you
the
need,
right questions is everything in life, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
So go find out if there's actually a client that would buy it. And please don't talk to your friends and family.
Yeah. You'll either get the right answer, definitely the wrong answer.
Yeah. I mean, they tend to go towards two directions, right? Like either they tell you, oh my gosh, no one will ever buy. That's why people told me, my family told me when I told them I was going to do consulting for retreat leaders. I
Yeah.
mean, they have a retreat center, okay? And they told me, who's going to pay for that?
Right.
Right? If you can
Yeah.
just do it on your own. And I was like, no, I'm doing it. And look at me, here I am, like 5.5 years later.
Yeah. Yeah. Here. And I'm
But
successful,
either they
right?
tell you that, right? Oh, there's no way it will work. Or they tell you, oh my God, it's beautiful. And they just agree with you, even
Yeah.
though there's actually no one who will buy your retreat.
This is true. Well, there's always somebody. You just got to find that somebody. That's the challenge. So somebody that's dreams of hosting retreats, but they don't know where to start, what would you say is the first strategic step that they should take before they set the dates and, plan on doing it? What would you say? Who's on first?
Oh my gosh, this is such a loaded question. Holy. It is such a loaded question. Well, first I would say come to my class because it's going to give you a lot of, it's going to give you a structure, right? It's going to
Yeah.
tell you this or that, like we cover like 3 pillars: design for profit, price for profit, and sell for profit. So I would say first and foremost, come to the masterclass because that's going to give you the whole structure of what you need to happen in order for you to have that. But if
Okay.
you were not to come to the masterclass, the first thing I would say is after I'd done my market research and I found that there is an actual market that will buy it, that are people that are interested, the next thing I would do is I would start thinking about what type of retreat do I want to do. Do I want to do a retreat that is like a low ticket in the front end and then an upsell in the back end?
Yeah.
Or do I want to have a high ticket retreat at the beginning? Am I going towards luxury, mid range, right? Or
Right.
low tier? And what is like the end goal and how does that fit in my overall business? Because so many times people tend to do like build a retreat and they do it so separately to their business.
Yeah. Right.
And then
And
at the end of the day, what happens is they end up having like something completely separate to what they offer, and then it
Yeah.
doesn't match, and they cannot upsell into anything else, and it's just like it's
Right.
like a little sphere outside of of
Mhm.
your business cosmos.
Yeah. I always encourage people to, if you like your business or you love your business, hopefully that you don't go create another business by doing retreats. You add retreats to your existing business and just
Yes.
enhance it. And yeah, it's a great place to upsell, especially if, you're in the coaching industry, especially you can sell your big packages. Those are hard to sell from stage. And a lot of times you have to drip campaigns for a long time on people before they buy into that stuff. But you bring them into a retreat setting and they spend a few days with you and everybody knows, likes, and trusts each other, or you don't, and you know it by then. So it is such a great way to do that. I love it. Okay, I have some rapid fire. I always like to kind of wrap these up at the end. There's no right or wrong answer, just the quickest answer that comes to mind. You ready?
Yes.
Okay. Beach or mountains?
Oh, mountains.
Luxury resort or off the grid retreat?
Luxury resort.
Early bird or night owl?
I'm a night owl for sure.
Favorite destination you've ever hosted or visited?
That's a hard one. I would say I think Italy is one of my favorite places.
I've been there yet. I'm going though. One thing that you've always packed for a retreat?
Oh, I always pack my laptop.
Oh.
I know,
Okay.
it's just I am even if I don't use it, I'm just happy
Yeah.
that I have it there, and it gives me peace of mind that if anything is happening with the business, I
Yeah,
can still do it. So it's for peace of mind.
I agree. Yeah, I agree. Well, okay. So if they want to get a hold of you, we're going to have your info in the show notes. But to do the masterclass, is your website the best place to go for them to go and sign up for that?
Yeah, so it's the retreatplanner.com/challenge. And you can also find it on my website. So either
Which we'll
like,
put.
and the
Okay.
website is the retreatplanner.com.
Great. I love it. Well, I'm sure our retreat leaders listening got some good nuggets. I hope they did. And I always learn, and that matters. That matters. We always need to be learning. So, okay, everyone, until next time, thanks, Lainey, for coming and sharing your words of wisdom, and go sign up for her next class. It sounds amazing. I think I should do it too.
I think you should. Thank you for having me, Holly.
Until next time, everyone. Bye for now.
Thanks for joining us on this episode of All Things Retreat. We hope you're leaving with new ideas, fresh inspiration, and the motivation to take your retreats to the next level. Don't forget to subscribe and leave us a review. It helps us grow and reach more retreat leaders like you. And if you have any questions, topics you'd like us to cover, or just want to say hello, send us an email at info@weretreatrnr.com. Follow us on social media to stay connected and catch all the latest updates. Until next time, remember, great retreats start with great intentions. Let's make them extraordinary, one step at a time. Thinking about hosting a retreat? Before you dive in, let's make sure you're really ready. Grab your free Are You Retreat Ready checklist and find out if you've got everything in place, from your purpose and pricing to your audience and agenda. Don't guess. Get clear. This quick checklist will show you exactly where you stand and what you need to make your retreat a success. Click the link below in the show notes to grab your gift and take the first step toward hosting with confidence.